sisters, this act, this process of upraising and upbringing is not a spontaneous one. Many of us think that, okay, inshallah, once the baby is born, Allah will provide for his provision, food and necessities, and things will go smoothly. No. It tells you have to plan for it. The same way as a successful businessman cares about his wealth and resources and how he invests his money in order to multiply it in the future, Islam tells you have to invest in your children. Those children are the wealth of the nation. Those children are the wealth of your family. You need to invest in them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consider those people who are victorious in the day after, not victorious by themselves. They are victorious when they win and their children win. Here the ayah says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ بِإِيمَانٍ. Those people who are believers, not only themselves, rather their family also follow them. And in the same token, those people who lose in the hereafter, they not only lose themselves, they lose their families. The ayah says, قُلْ إِنَّ الْخَاسِرِينَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَهْلِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. That I lose, and I also make my family, my children lose. How do I make my children lose? It's when I don't pay attention to them. I think that, okay, I am, taking care of them financially, supporting them financially, whatever they need for eat, for food and a drink, I am preparing for them. Therefore, there is no reason to pay attention more than that. This is called khasirin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell you, you're going to lose and your children will lose. The factors that affect the child, brothers and sisters, first is the heredity, as I have told you. Our characteristics is built from heredity. Most of it comes from the heredity, from the genes that coming from the father and the mother. However, there is an important role for the environment. The environment itself has a great role in upbringing of the child. Once the child is stepped in this world, he faces his family. His family is his society. His father and mother are considered to be his teachers. The child learns from his mother. The mother teaches the child. It's through passion, it's through love, teaches him how he or she reacts to things, how he expresses himself. Therefore, you have two kinds of teaching. One is you explicitly tell your child. You talk to your child. You tell him, Baba, please behave. Try to be a good person. Trustworthy. Try to be like the good people. You tell him the story of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, instead of telling him the story of Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. You tell him about the story of the prophets. You bring him a good role model of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. This is one way to teach your children, and this is a good way, brothers and sisters. Is when you teach, you explicitly talk to your children. You are driving, talk to your children. You are sitting on the lunch table, talk to your children. Sure, many people here don't have time. They are so busy with their work. They get up in early morning, go to work, they don't come back until evening. They tired, they want to go to sleep. But this 5 or 10 minutes that you have with your family, spend it wisely. Invest in it. When you sit with your children, ask them. Ask them about their concern. Tell them your concern. Give them your own advice. Talk to your children. Research have found out those parents who discuss the matters with their children, discuss their problems, talk to their children, advise them, their children become less deviant than those who do not talk to their children. Why? Because the child says, my father or my mother doesn't care about me. He's so careless. Whatever I do to them is fine. They're so careless. Why should I care about myself? So number one, discuss the matter with your children. Advise them. Here Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam tells his son, Al-Imam al-Hasan, he says, Ya bunay, innama qalbu al-hadathi kal-ardu al-khaliya. The heart and the mind of a minor is like an empty land. كلما ألقي فيها شيء قبلته. Whatever you throw in this land, whatever seed you put in this land, it will grow. So the heart and the mind and conscience of the minor is like an empty land. You can put whatever you want. You want to put good things in it, you can. You can put bad things in it, yes you can. And you will produce a criminal. Have you heard of Tolstoy? Tolstoy was a philosopher, a Russian philosopher, back in 1900 or maybe before that. He says that, give me a child and tell me what you want him to be. Do you want me to make him a prophet? I will make him a prophet. Do you want me to make him a criminal? I can make him a criminal. It's by teaching. So Ali ibn Abi Talib is telling his son, he's telling that, be careful. The minor heart is like an empty land. Whatever you give him, he will grow. فَبَادَرْتُكَ بِالْأَدَبِ. So I am teaching you how to behave. قَبْلَ أَنْ يَقْسُوَ قَلْبُهُ. Before the child is growing and gets to a critical age, talk to him. Talk to your daughter. Tell your daughter while she's in the young age, tell her about the beauty of hijab. Tell your son about the beauty of the prayers, of salat. If you want to wait until the child becomes 10 years old or 11 years old, and at that time you want to tell your daughter, for example, about hijab, believe me, I would say good luck. There is no other way. You will bring your children when they grow up. Why? Because they will see everything. You are no longer for them a role model. For a certain time, brothers and sisters, parents are considered to be the role models of the children. But after that, they pass that critical time. Once they pass it, you cannot influence your children anymore. Therefore, you need to start in early age. So the first way is an explicit teaching. But what is important, more important than that, is the implicit teaching. How is implicit teaching? I tell my son, oh my son, do not lie. Be honest person, trustworthy, but at the same time, I lie. I am not a trustworthy person. I am not an honest person. You think he will get the message? He would not get the message. He will see me and he acts upon what I do. Therefore, if in order to make my son a good son, an honest son, I have to watch my own deed first. I should look at my own creed. Whether I am an honest person